millions the boy rock. Stick a pin in a down money black van grill. Dash little pound at the eye drop. Screams through the night, can't sleep when you lie back. Serpent coil on your life, now you're tied up. Trap like you're inside the car with the child lock.
Affiliation born in offense. Meditation talking a rings. The devil angels tall and immense.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, and we're into some bit of entertainment. And on the line we have Mr. Larynx Merritt. Yes, Mr. Larynx Merritt, who's a dancehall artist and producer, and he's on the line to talk to us about his new music releases. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite fine, Mr. Merritt. Now, tell us a bit about your music releases that you want to speak about.
Yeah, so let me give a little history about myself.
Yes.
Also, right?
Because I know you're in a particular light, but I know you don't want to be pigeonholed into that. So you tell us about Larynx Merritt. Yeah.
So I'm a Trinidadian born artist, right? So I came from Tacarigua, a bunch of places in Trinidad. I grew up. But I also had a foundation in places like Mova. My grandmother, who is a huge influence on me, she came from Lescato, Tobago, so I have a lot of family in Tobago as well, right? Bigfoot Hill, lowlands, Susu lands. That's just a little history about me. I started engaging in music like around the age of 14. That's where I won my school's carnival competition, and from there, it sparked a fire in me that started getting me invested in music and all those things. So then, fast forward, I started going to studios, recording, working with different producers in Trinidad, and actually worked with some of the top producers in Trinidad at the point in time. But for some reason, nothing I did was really connecting. And around 2010, I made a commitment to myself that if nothing happened for me musically this year, I was about to quit music. At the end of 2009, sorry. Mm-hmm. And at the end of 2009, I was frustrated. It was like the 29th of December that year. So 2 days before I made my commitment to walk away from music. And my brother and my friend, we was hanging out. So my friend came from America, we came down for the Christmas holiday. So in the frustration, we just started making jokes, laughing, freestyling and all of that. And we came up with a video that Trinidad and Tobago knows us for, the Caribbean knows us for, called "You Are Some Sorilla." You are some Sorilla. You are some Sorilla. So that's where I know I'm reacquainting myself with the Trinidad audience. Right. So in that process, we also made another song called "Ugly Girl" that was viral as well too. But in the process, I found that people started seeing me as just a joker, right? And though I make a lot of jokes, and that's part of my personality, this was kind of difficult for me because I also had a lot of creative ideas. And also I was doing music for years before, and it wasn't matching with the brand that I was hoping to achieve for myself. Even though I ended up switching up my brand because I used to sing a lot of violent music, a lot of vulgar music. And around that time, like God got a hold of me, right? And I also started finding myself having a distaste for the type of music I was doing, because I saw how the influence of this music was affecting the people around me, right? When I grew up in Trinidad, I had a juxtaposed ideologies, right? Where I lived in one place with my aunt, and there it was a middle class type of living. And then on the weekends, I lived by my grandmother, who's from Tobago, and there I experienced like ghetto living. So on one side, I saw that my friends living in the middle class situation, they lived a lot longer. They had different mindsets, they approached life differently. And on the other side, I saw that they were dying a lot quicker. and I also saw the influence that the music had on them. Whereas the others would listen to the music also, but it wouldn't have that impact. So I saw how people in poverty, people in constant situations of panic and stress, and people who don't really see much hope presented in front of them, they're more susceptible to the type of music, right? They're susceptible to the influence of the music. And it really it took a toll on me, and it made me make a commitment that I would never sing anything that I deem irresponsible or hurtful to my listeners.
So is it
So
that you consider yourself to be more of a gospel artist or a positive artist?
I would say it's a merge between the two, because the thing is, if you label me a gospel artist, I believe you might be disappointed at some of the risks I might take sometime, right? Because one of the things for me, I am more focused on the people I'm called to reach than keeping up an image. You know, I don't even try to put up the image that I am a perfect man or the best man, right? I know if sometimes even the thoughts that might come into my mind, people might have disqualify me. I might have disqualify myself, right?
Yeah.
So God don't call perfect people, right? But He called people who have His heart for others, and who He could trust for His mission. You know, who He could trust to love others and to really care about the hearts and the outcomes of other people.
So
You know, and really be a servant in that way.
yeah. So I'm seeing here you have some songs out. The Message, From Small, and One Order. Just tell us about the song called One Order. What it's about. What was the inspiration for this song?
So One Order is a reminder, a vivid reminder that even though people mingle in many forms of dark arts, because we know in the Caribbean people do voodoo and kuzu, you know, and every kind of darkness that even in the culture is promoted right now. It's a reminder that God scans the entire earth, and He looks on men, and He's a person who intervenes in the affairs of men. You know, so it's a reminder that regardless of the evil that exists, God is a helper, a protector, and He's the one who will empower you to overcome every dark situation that you're facing.
So, concerning your music, you are based in the United States. How has your career been in the United States thus far?
So far, I've been doing some touring. I received really good feedback from touring. So I was touring with a band called Christopher. So I was touring with them for a bunch of different states and all of that, and I had a really good reception from every crowd that I encountered. Also, I took a hiatus for certain periods because I had to figure myself out, right? Because there's certain people. I had to decide which type of people I'm willing to work with, because I have to have certain boundaries to make sure that my conscience is pure in terms of the limits I'm willing to go and what I'm willing to work on and all of that. And I had some errors in kind of figuring that out. So now I think I'm in a lot better place where I'm able to just move forward a lot more confidently. So I could start putting on a lot more work, and that's what's going on right now.
I know you've been making attempting to make some connections within the industry in Trinidad and Tobago recently.
Yeah.
What level of success have you been having in terms of reconnecting with those persons in the industry down here and really getting a foothold in Trinidad and Tobago?
So also, well, in the gospel arena, I've been having really good. I'm actually working on some collaborations right now with some other artists, right? And that is something that I really wanted to do, to kind of switch up my sound and also to incorporate some other skills and sounds and ideas and all of that. Secularly, I also have some friends in those spaces who I'm building relationship with relationships with and will be working with in the near future. So it's been good so far.
And for persons who are interested in your music, how can they find your music? What streaming platforms are you on? And if they want to book you, give you bookings and that kind of thing, how can they get in contact with you?
So my handle is Larynx Merit on every platform. It's LARYNXMERIT. So just as a reminder to remember the name, think about larynx as your vocal cords. That's your body part, right? Mm-hmm. Vocal cords and merit, deserving reward. That's the meaning of the name. For bookings, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but just message me on my social media and I will send you the email. And yeah, that's basically it.
All right, well, Mr. Larynx Merit, thank you very much for being on here with us. We welcome the positive music and we wish you all the best going forward in your career, and that you can blossom and bloom, and that you'll be able to really reach the youths in Trinidad and Tobago, because you have a story to tell and you can really motivate persons to stay on the right track.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on this morning. It's a pleasure. Tobago Updates. God bless to all your listeners.
All right, thank you very much. That was Mr. Larynx Merit, dancehall artist and producer, speaking about his new releases. You could go onto social media platforms such as YouTube and find his music there and give him some support. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages. But do us a favor, in the meantime, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
One, and it's under the order we function.